Hi everyone. Well, what do you know? It's me again. You know, I just can't stay away. I love you so much. Anywho, I'm here in the kitchen. Again, I seem to be kitchen witcherin'. Kitchen witcherin' is what I'm doing this weekend. My husband is off having fun. My son is taking him out for his birthday, so they're off finding skulls, Halloween skulls. They're silly. All right, so anyhow, and I'll probably post a picture of what they found. I'm making some lotion bars because I have a fall show coming up, and I want to make sure that each weekend I'm trying to manage my time and make some things that I need to make and put aside, so that way when the show gets closer, then I worry about packaging. I don't worry about it, but then I take care of packaging and things like that. So today we are making lotion bars. I'm going to make, I can never say this right, but I'm going to make Calendula. Did I say that correctly? No. Calendula lotion bars. And I use a double boiler method. I've got here on my stovetop a thing of water. It's boiling up, and then this guy is getting pretty hot, so that's got to, you just be careful. I should probably be using a pot holder here, yeah. But since I have nails, I kind of use them as like little claws. But this is a Pyrex bowl, glass bowl. Love it. You're gonna need a cup. Well, you're gonna need a few things. So if you're wanting to make these, make sure you get a food scale. I have this one. Kind of won it in a little wellness prize at work, which I thought was pretty awesome. I use a Pyrex. Is this a Pyrex or an Anchor Hawking? Anchor Hawking. Measuring cup. I zero out my scale. I put my stuff, my Pyrex or my measuring cup on there, and I zero it out again. So now it's 0, which I probably shouldn't have done because I have beeswax in there. So there's a few different ingredients. Let me back up here because I always get ahead of myself. So I make mine lotion bars. I use cocoa butter, which is awesome, great benefits for that. And I can say, let's see, finest, nothing that you need to worry about. Okay, I also use shea butter, organic shea butter, and I also use something called mango butter. I didn't know that this existed for a while, and it's pretty awesome. I love this a lot. And then you're gonna need beeswax, and I've got beeswax here, and I'm putting beeswax first in my thing, excuse me, first in my measuring cup, because I always forget it, and then I wonder, why aren't my things setting up? And sure enough, beeswax will help all of these other oils and butters maintain their shape. So otherwise those things would just like run all over the place, but the beeswax kind of holds it all together. It's the binding agent, if you will. So I put this in here, and I have a standard measuring of 4 ounces of each thing, except for some of my essential oils that I use to, spice it up. So that says 4 ounces right there. I'm going to add this. That's 4 or 5. Okay, so there's 4 ounces right there. So that's my beeswax. 4 ounces, and it's going to go in a double boiler. It does take a while for that guy to melt down. So I put that back on my scale, and I don't know if you can see it from here. So see, it's now zeroed out because I've already zeroed out this bowl. If I push, see, I push on it, look, and it moves. All right, so got to get back to 0. What's going on here? Get it back to 0, and it is. So now I'm going to get my cocoa butter. Cocoa butter is kind of the main base of this. Cocoa butter has been known to help with, if you have scars, it can help reduce the appearance of scars. Oh, I love cocoa butter. I just love its really earthy smell. And of course, cocoa butter is, have you ever heard of the cocoa bean? Well, cocoa butter surrounds the bean, so it sort of smells a little bit like chocolate. Okay, 1.4, 2.55, and depending on what you're using, if you notice, like this looks almost similar to what I had for the beeswax. Well, that's a denser product. this cocoa butter is extremely light, so your jar may fill up pretty quickly, and you're like, oh, what am I doing here? Okay, that's too much there. Let me shave off this little piece here. Trying to get to 4. That's 4, 5, 5. Still got to shave some off. And they're little hard chunks, so it's not easy. So I may go find some littler chunks to mess with here. 3, 5, 5, 3. Ooh, 3, 9, 5. One more little tiny chunk. Now it's, okay. 4, 1, 5. All right. There, let's see if that works. Woohoo! 4.0. All right. 4 ounces. Put it in there. Let it all boil down. Okay, so now put this back in there so I don't forget. So now we're going to do our mango butter. Mango butter is trippy when you see it. It's kind of like a powder fluff almost. It's sort of weird, but I like it. It has great properties. Sort of like a powdery sort of substance. There it is in a big ball. That's the majority of that. Okay. 3, 2, 5, 4, almost 4, 390. Come on, maybe just this last little chunk will do it, and maybe that's close enough and I won't have to open up the second box. Okay, now why are we being difficult here? Because it's in this other little bag. All right, let's turn it out. Let's turn this mother out and see if that doesn't work. All right, 392, that's close enough. And it's my hands are going to be super soft after I'm done doing this. I'm just going to rub that in. It feels good. Already you can smell the beeswax and everything starting to make its way. Do its thing. Oh, get you out of there, little butter. Go, butter. Melt to melt, baby. So there's the mango butter. So I've got so far beeswax, cocoa, and mango. And now we're going to go for the shea. As I throw something away. I was a poet, but I didn't know it. Alright. And then, of course, I use my teeth to open up everything because I'm ghetto like that. Or here's some scissors. I don't know about you guys, but as I get older, the strength in my hands just isn't there anymore. Maybe it's just been, 40 some odd years of being an artist, using my hands constantly. Okay, shea butter. This is sort of how it comes right out of its little packaging. And also, people ask me, where do you get your products? I do research on companies, and I look at their ratings and things like that, and especially with food grade type deals, make sure that it's organic or whatever, and then I buy my stuff on Amazon because it's cheaper than their actual websites. Sorry, but that's how it is. So here's my shea. Put that in there, and this one also is a denser, so I mean just that right there is 3.30. And trying to shave off some more here to get me close to 4. And I say 4 ounces of each thing, but I mean it's approximate. You don't really want to venture like too far away from it, but it's a good rule of thumb, 4 ounces for each thing. And again, except for my essential oils that I will be adding to sort of help with stuff here. Okay, that was too much. I went over. I got zealous. All right, let's take out these little chunkins. Ooh, okay, good. Chunkins are out. Shea butter is in. Okay, so now that's got a little more in there. Take you out, take you out. So that's got to cook up. Got to make sure that all of that melts, and it takes a little bit. Sometimes it can take half an hour or so. So you just sort of stay close. Don't, go anywhere. Don't go watch a program or anything and just leave it there. You need to be very mindful. These products aren't cheap. I guess when I say that, it's, yeah, sure, they're affordable, but when you start adding them up and how much you need to make certain things, they add up quickly. So you want to make sure you're also selling your lotion bars if you are trying to sell them, you know, for a fairly decent price in order to make up for shipping cost and all that other stuff. I try to offer mine at a fairly good value. I asked around, some of my customers have asked me to make smaller ones so that they could be like a little 3-pack. So I went and got these silicone molds, and then there are my calendula petals in there. And if I'm not saying this right, I'm sorry. Just forgive me and just know that I'm going to say calendula. I hope that's okay. But I put my little petals in here, and I put that sort of on a hard surface, just the lid to my little Tupperware deal. I don't know if you can see that lid on the Tupperware deal, so that it's flat. I even have Millennium Falcon silicone for my nerd friends. So sometimes people really like that. That I'm probably not going to make this time around, but depending on how much wax I have left over, I will check it out. But I have these large lotion bar molds. You can see I've been using these suckers because there's like some old wax and stuff on here. Not wax, but you know what I mean. And I've got my calendula petals in there. And these guys are great, and I love them. And I need to weigh them, actually, because I don't really know what the finished product generally weighs. But I can show you more than anything. This is an old lotion bar, not an old one, but I mean, this is one that I have made, and then it came out of this mold right here. This guy sits above my sink, so after you know, wash your hands, you just rub, you know, and then it lotions you up. It's pretty wonderful. I got this one I believe this one is cinnamon, clove, and orange. Now it's hard to get like a very strong smell when you're dealing with cocoa butter, because cocoa butter is just going to overpower most anything. Cocoa butter is really good for the skin, but you know, sometimes it can give you that sort of greasy feel, so you don't want to use a whole lot of it. But let's weigh this just for giggles and see what I'm working with here. Well, first of all, I gotta zero out my scale again, because remember, it had the measuring cup on it. So I measure out my scale, and these guys are about 3 ounces. They're about 3 ounces when done. So it is a pretty large lotion bar, and this guy is going to last you, oh, it depends on how much you use it, but if you're doing this daily, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months. We've had this one up there for a while, so I just put it in a little glass bowl, a little glass dish. I have it right here. Let me show you. I just put it in my little glass dish here, and keep it above the sink, and people use it when they need it. With the weather changing, it is a great idea to start moisturizing and exfoliating your skin now. I don't know about you, but I do get, you know, that itchy skin. Do you guys get that when the seasons change? Let me know if you do. It's kind of crazy, but you know, and all of a sudden I'm just like itching and scratching, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Do I have fleas? No, I don't have fleas. You don't have to answer that question. But I noticed that, okay, it's time to exfoliate, it's time to do some stuff. So as far as exfoliation goes, you can use salt scrubs, are great for that. You can, all different, you know, Dead Sea salt, loofahs are very helpful. If you haven't been over to Bourjois Bath and Body Products, you need to go, because they've got a fabulous coffee scrub that is to die for. And me being the coffee vixen that she is, I really enjoy their coffee scrub. And I'm probably not saying the correct, whatchamacallit, terminology or the name for that product correctly, but that's what I love. I love that coffee scrub, and I love their under eye gel. It's a coffee, you know, infused, and it's called Stimulate, and it's pretty awesome as well. Okay, so here I am. I'm just see stuff is starting to happen here. It's looking pretty good. But again, look at that beeswax. See, I put that in there first. And again, it's still this huge chunk. So the rest of the oils will melt down pretty quickly. And you know, the reason, somebody once asked me, they're like, how come you don't just use like one of those stainless steel bowls? Well, I don't, because at some point, you know, this is going to dry really quickly. So as I'm using it, like it's already on the spoon, it's already drying. It's already starting to form its stuff, right? Starting to solidify. Ooh, there's a word. Solidify. Starting to solidify. So as I stir and it goes up on the sides of the glass, well, it's cooler there than it is at the bottom. So I will pop this in the microwave, and you know, anything that's left up there on the top, well, that's, you know, valuable product. You don't want to really let it go, so I will pop it in the microwave, melt it, and then spoon it out as I need to. And I just take, you know, this big spoon or ladle and spoon it into my Pyrex deal, and so there I will pour it into the molds, and it's easier to control that way. I know that it's two different things that I then have to cleanse, but I just do it. Okay, so I also have for this, while we're waiting, I can add, it's looking pretty good. Let me just make sure I've got enough water down there. Maybe all my water is gone. It's very possible. Notice what I'm doing. I don't want to touch that bowl. Oh, there's water still down in there. Okay, so that's good. Be very careful. It is very hot. You will burn yourself if you're not watching what you're doing. Okay, so I have calendula oil. My very good friend Carmen went to Austin and picked me up some of this wonderful stuff, along with, you know, the some comfrey and some other stuff. I also make comfrey and calendula, but I haven't messed with my comfrey just yet, so I'm started with calendula, and maybe I'll talk about that. But comfrey is really good for wounds, skin wounds and things like that. So it's excellent in a lotion bar because you're already putting it on, and kind of helps you, you know, double time. But I put calendula oil. I put sometimes almond oil in these, and I also do some other like essential oils if I wanted to. You know me and frankincense, so I have a bar that I do of frankincense, and I actually take some ground up frankincense that that I have and didn't use in my oil the other day, and I will put that in the mix once it's all melted down. I'll put all that in there, and then I'll put some drops, probably, I'm gonna say, I'm not big on the teaspoon type stuff, but I'll probably put half a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. I know there's like a cup and then a teaspoon. Teaspoon of the frankincense oil in there, or if I was going to do like lavender mint or lemon mint or anything like that, I would put those oils in after it's all melted down, because you want to add your oils kind of towards the end. You don't want to, because otherwise they're cooking, and you don't want to take away their properties by overcooking it. So you got to get this melted first. And I know this is already getting to be a long video, so I will let this cook down, and I will come back when it is finally melted. Okay, y'all? I will be back. It's a threat. Okay, I'm back. And with an apron. My husband got me this apron, and I realized, hey, I'm probably going to splash some stuff on my... And so I'm going to cook with my apron on. We are almost there. Look at this, beeswax. Beeswax, you didn't have a chance. I get you with my spoon and my bowl and my heat. All right. Now, as this is going, as this is melting, look at how beautiful. It smells really, really nice. This is a perfect time, magically, excuse me, to put your intentions in, to bless, to do symbols, to do any of that stuff that you may want to do for, you know, your intentions for these bars and the people that use them. But oh my gosh, this smells so good. So we're almost there, and I'm going to go ahead and add my little bit of calendula oil, if I said that correctly. So half a teaspoon is what I'm going to add, because I think that's enough. because this stuff is pretty palatable. You know what? I'm going to add 2. So I'm going to add a full teaspoon of calendula oil. Right. Just dip that in there just to make sure I got it in there. I'm also going to add calendula petals. I wanted the petals, you know, towards the top. That's why I put them on the top of the bar, you know, or so that's why I put them there at the bottom, you know, at the bottom of the mold, and then when you pop it out, it's the top of the bar. Make sense? Okay. So yes, I put it in there as well, but I'm going to add a few in here. Make a good stir. Do all that good stuff. Now, do you see how it sort of stuck to that? I can scrape it off and put it in the bowl again if I want. But that's not a whole lot of product, so I'm not going to worry about it. Still got these 2 little guys. They're getting there. And you want, as you're stirring, you're also melting them down. The action of the stir helps circulate the heat and will get it going faster. Kind of like ice water. Have you ever noticed that if you add ice water, ice to your water, and then your water's not completely cold when you drink it, if you take a straw and you blow in, you know, the air to the, you know, to your drink, the water goes over the ice cubes and it cools, and so then you take a sip again, you're like, oh wow, it's nice and cold. So kind of the same difference here. It's like, ooh, science with raven flour. I really don't know all that much. But what I have, I will share with you, and always open to suggestions, because there might be another way of doing it that I didn't know about. But this is what I do, and this is what I know what works. Okie dokie. Almost done. Come on, beeswax. Look, I got this one little, can you see that? Little chunkaroo. Look. I got one little chunkaroo, 2 little chunkaroos in there. Come on now. I got stuff to do. I'll wait for beeswax to melt all day. Just so you know, it has been about a half an hour, if not longer. So yes, that beeswax, you want to get in there first. Get it melted as best as you can. I think it's fine. It's almost there. Keep stirring, keep stirring. It's like Dory. Keep on swimming, keep on swimming. Well, there, you keep on swimming in that boiling wax. At this point, I'm going to turn off my double boiler because I don't need it anymore. So there's no sense in me having this on. Okay, there they go. All right, and they're gone. Okay, so I've added my calendula oil, and I went out and I thought, you know what, it would be really nice, frankincense and calendula. Should I do it? No, I won't. Okay. I want to frankincense everything, man. I love me some frankincense. All right. So, you fall. Oh, did you hurt yourself? Are you okay? Okay. I knocked you done off the crock pot. See what happens? Okay. Hopefully, stay there. You're going to be fine. Going to be all right. I'm going to move my scale over to the other side so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to take my beeswax. I'm going to mine my beeswax and put it in my little pouches for the next batch. Put it back in my little product box. That's my little box where I keep all of my things. So I know that I use those tools for those things. Designate certain things for certain things. And there you have it. All right. So move my bottles over. Got that. Move that over. Okay. I don't know, I think I'm going to do the big ones first because there's only 2 of them. I'll show you those. Okay. Oops, sorry there. I didn't mean to cover yellow up. Hopefully you can see me. Alright. And I have my calendula petals. And I just took some and sprinkled them out. And a little bit goes a long way. You guys don't have to go overboard. So I'm just putting some fluff in there like that. Make sure that their medicinal properties can be distributed evenly throughout this, and you can give it a little stir if you like. It will get on your spoon. So, all right. So here we go, and I'm going to spoon it in here in my, and I always put my, why is it when I get on a video, forget words. It's ridiculous. Okay, my measuring cup, I put it over my bowl so that way if anything spills out, I can catch it. Now this, again, is so ridiculously hot. You want to be careful. You want to be really careful. So, pour that in. Get that in there. You're going to make a little bit of a mess, and that's why I say please pour it, or please put your measuring cup deal over your bowl, so that way you don't go crazy. All right, that's a little bit. I'm going to leave that little bit there. Okay, so here we go into the molds. And you can see that it's already set up on the sides. That's some of that stuff I'm going to go for and melt down in the microwave. All right, so I poured that in, and I try to go to the little top because I want a good big bar. And those little tiny little bars, not going to do you a bit of good. So there you go. There's 2 big bars. Look at all that's set up on the sides. All right, so now put this down. Move this over. This just needs to set. You can do multiple things with this. You can, again, if you didn't enchant, if you didn't put your blessings in it, if you didn't do any of that stuff or your intentions, this is also another time that you can do that. You can also add any more oils. You could. It's better if you have it in there and you stir them about. Or more petals. If you wanted more petals, this would be a good time to do that as well. So you just stick that out to the side, and I put it over here where I know that my cats aren't going to get it, and I make sure that it's out of sight and safe, because those cats, man, cats are something else. I love them, but they get into everything. All right, so little baby bars now. Not even a bar, little flowers, little baby flowers. I'm gonna pour the rest of my stuff in here. I don't know how many these are really gonna be. This is the first time I'm using these little guys. Kind of excited. I think they're candy melts, like little chocolate candy melt deals. You know, little molds, candy molds. There you go. I think that's what those are used for. All right. Pouring, pouring, pouring. If you noticed, I'm ambidextrous. I use both right and left, but I feel like I probably have more control with my right just because I was trained to use my right. Okay, so that pours pretty quick. They're little. So you go slow with it. Make sure you guys, can you see what I'm doing? Okay. There we go. And little petals sometimes stick out when you're doing this, and you just kind of take a little spoon and plug them back in there. It's not a big deal. If you notice, they started collecting at the bottom here, so I'm going to give it a little stir so they can also come out in the mix. Woo, I went overboard on that one. Go slow, go slow. So yeah, I've got lots of wax left over, or product left over. So I get to do these guys, and I think I can make 2 more of the others. I have, well, maybe one. Look at that, I'm getting sloppy. All right, so I have some little extra on the ends there where I went a little cray cray. I kind of push that out. It is hot, so be careful, but it's not hot enough that it's going to burn me. And holy Moses, do I have some gooey hands right now. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to be very cautious and very careful as not to spill over. So let those set. Over here fussing, and I forgot I was even filming. All right, bring this back over because we could use some more over here. So I'm going to go with the other flower just because I was doing flowery type stuff. Put that in there. The ends. I'll turn it around so you guys can see. I should have enough for 2. I may just have enough for 1. We will see. But you want to use all of it. All of it as much as you can. Because again, this stuff costs money. I try to give these away for Christmas time. People really like them. My friends and family really like these. And look at that one, all kinds of filled with calendula. I may just use this one for myself. Oh gosh, I almost put my hand in there because I was so excited. All right, look at all this. Look at all this goodness. I'm going to plop that in a bar, and I'm just going to use it for myself, man. Is what it is. All right, so now you guys, you can pop those in the refrigerator if you wish in order to expedite things, or you can just leave them out and they will do their due diligence by setting up. It takes a little while for them to set up. I am, if you notice, which you probably don't because you can't see because I already turned the thing. Okay, but look at how much this one's filled versus that one. So I have all of this extra in here. I'm going to pop this in the microwave real quick, you know, just for like 10 seconds, maybe 15. And it will shed to the sides and melt on down, and then I can pour it in and use it. Just washing my hands right now just to get all the grease off so I have a better grip on my handle. All right, how y'all doing? Doing good? Awesome. Okay, there we go. I got most of it. See the difference? See? So it's now all hot wax, hot product again, and I can pour that in there. I could even do some more if I wish. I know I still have a little bit down in here. I just want to fill that up and get that going. I go back and forth as to what I charge for my bars. I will put them in the down bar, or I can actually just put my shop in the down bar if you're interested, or if there's something that I can make you or show you how to make, because you know what, you don't really have to buy anything from me. I just want to share information with you. So if you have questions or things don't work for you, some people are allergic to certain oils, and you know, you might be completely allergic to cocoa butter. You know, some people are allergic to chocolate, so I would imagine that they would be allergic to cocoa butter as well. And then I've got mango